saying. It's just
what
like
the fuck, Jay
a
Rudo?
rejected
I don't think Augie
action.
understands what consent is. Are you fucking brain dead? Like, I'm gonna ask you this question. Is your brain just made of like fucking liquid or something? Like, of course I know what consent is, you fucking jackass. That's the thing. That's the thing. She said in the document, I was wishing he wouldn't go any further, and he stopped. He stopped.
You know, Augie,
Holy
you saying that
shit.
is a blatant rape apologia, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
You clearly don't. Call in, jackass.
Yes, please, for the love of God.
Get the
But yeah,
fuck
there's a
in
lot-
here, you
there's
fucking
been
retard.
I have seen a lot of viewers who probably didn't read the initial document or read it so long ago that they forgot the details, saying like, "Oh, it's good that like he's not taking away. This is not taking away
He didn't
from what
stop?
he did."
Are you going to
from what
talk
he
about a
did.
document you
And I
didn't
don't
even
think it's
read?
like-
Hold on, Paul Blacks. DLT. He didn't stop. Yes, he fucking did. I feel like I'm the only one who fucking reads this shit. Oh my
No,
god, I'm getting brain
yeah.
damage from chat. I'm actually losing it. This chat is killing me right now.
Well, that one guy in chat, I'm pretty sure most of your chat isn't brain dead.
I feel like I'm the only one who read the document. I'm sorry. I'm just
I read
losing it. I'm losing it. No, they didn't. Because if they read it, they wouldn't be saying half the shit they're
No,
putting.
I read it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I
that
read
one
that.
guy in chat is being retarded doesn't mean
This shit
I'm
pisses
sure
me off because it's
90%
like
of
I'm
your
trying
chat
to
is
convey
fine.
a very I have an opinion on something and I'm trying to word it in the most careful way possible, and chat's just like, well, you're a rapist. It's like, okay, buddy, nice discourse. Jay
Boyfriend
Rudo,
and
you're
your
on
old
the
man
air.
And everyone else.
You want to
boy?
explain to me how I don't know what consent is?
So I watched your video when you first talked about it. I don't know, you posted a couple days ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And I remember I can't remember all of the points you made, like off the top of my head.
I'll bet.
I do. What?
Go ahead.
Hey, you interrupted me. Let me finish.
Yeah,
I
go
remember
ahead.
you saying something about how she would always let this guy sleep in her bed, or they'd let him sleep in her bed. So when he came in drunk, it was like normal or something like that. So it was okay. I remember that, which is very much not how consent works. Also,
Okay. This guy routinely was allowed to sleep in these girls' beds.
allowed, yes. So he was given permission to. That means you have to be given permission in order to do something. So imagine
Except
if you're just in your room.
If it's a routine thing.
This always happens. They are friends. They are close. Yeah. What is the part of the context that I'm missing?
The part of the context is that she didn't want him to come in. She didn't give him permission to come in and lie in his bed.
Express that?
That part wasn't expressed.
Consent works. That's not how consent
but the
works.
thing is, well, hold up.
Wait, are we supposed to like
real quick,
read her
real
mind? Like, what the fuck
Real
are you?
quick,
What do you
real
want
quick.
us to
Let me-
do?
Let me explain this to you real quick. This is how relationships work. If you pattern of things that go
They're
on,
not in a relationship.
and let me fucking finish what I'm saying. You were complaining of people interrupting you. Let me
Go
fucking
ahead.
finish what I'm gonna say.
Go ahead.
If you have a rapport and where you're able, where you constantly do things, if it's like constantly normal, hey, hey, this person's gonna come in, we're gonna cuddle and all that stuff, doesn't get brought up at all, and then it happens once and they feel uncomfortable. The onus is on them to
caller
express
right
that they are
now.
uncomfortable.
It is not. The onus is not on them.
Yes,
the
it is.
literal definition of consent is permission for something to happen. Or agreement to do something.
Caller, this is the type of guy that believes you have to read a girl's mind, otherwise you're raping her, and you have to ask permission to hold her hand. Can I please hold your hand? That's what you believe. That's the type of shit that you would argue.
No.
Do you
Let me
ask
say
your
something.
girlfriend
First of all,
every time you kiss her?
Yes.
Look.
No, answer the question. Do you ask your girlfriend every time you kiss her?
Of course not. But they're not here.
Whoa, dude! Whoa! You gotta ask, bro. You gotta ask.
Argument to what I am saying. So there's a difference between
absolutely
there's a difference between coming into someone's room when she is okay.
Bruto, I didn't
for
give
it
you
to
consent
happen.
to speak. What the fuck?
But you're a funny guy, Bo Blacks. You're a funny guy. No, you're a funny guy. No, look, all I'm saying is that the permission was given when she was okay with it. When she brings him in and she allows him, or like she invites him in, or he comes in and she allows him to stay, right? However, when he's drunk and he barges into her room and goes into her room without her permission, that's one like a kind of like a violation of privacy, but also I think it can, like there's no consent there when you barge into your room and just start cuddling next to someone.
Was there an affirmative?
Okay, if there's a pattern of behavior that is okay or whatever, and he continues his pattern of behavior, unless she says no and he keeps coming into her room or whatever, then he has consent.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. Because if there's a pattern of behavior and he continues the pattern, and there's no problem that she doesn't say no, then what the fuck is he supposed to do, you fucking moron? Is he supposed to read her mind? You fucking idiot!
You're telling your audience something that is very dangerous and that can get people in trouble. Like I know you keep making the argument that like the guy's gotta shoot his shot, and you know I understand that argument to some degree.
Hold on, I want to say something. First of all, I think it's wild that you came in here being more intense than Augie himself, because Augie's really
no. Fuck this guy, dude. This guy is a fucking. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. You don't know about consent. Everyone I don't like is a rapist, dude. No, you don't know jack shit. If there's a pattern of behavior that he's allowed to do, and he continues that, and she doesn't say no, you know exactly what we're talking about. You're the type of guy that believes you have to ask permission for if you want to hold a girl's hand, otherwise he's a rapist or whatever. You're some male feminist Redditor loser. That's all you are.
These arguments that are not being made.
That's what you think.
I want clarification on something.
All right.
Do we know if this was something that was brought up every time that he would come into the person's room and like cuddle up to them and sleep? Is this like a thing where they got confirmation that it was okay before it happened?
This is all being assumed.
We don't know. However, that doesn't necessarily matter, right? No,
it actually does matter. No, it absolutely fucking does matter, because if this is a pattern of established behavior and it's done without any like signal or anything, then if she is uncomfortable with it, the onus is on her to bring it up that it is making her uncomfortable.
You can't just assume guilty because like if it's not mentioned, that's just wrong.
So you're saying you're saying that he goes in her room, and I think we've all agreed that he touched her inappropriately. Like that's pretty much.
No,
a
we haven't
general
established this yet.
Okay.
One of the other things,
overstep boundaries for sure.
Let me
I would agree with that.
Let me break this down for you, Jaredo. Let me break this down for you. You're in a relationship with a girlfriend. You kiss her, and you've done this without permission now like maybe 100 times. This is just something spontaneous that you do every time. You're pissed drunk and your girlfriend really doesn't want to be kissed right now. Is the onus on you to know that she doesn't want to be kissed, or is the onus on her to bring it up?
So legally,
no, answer the question.
I am.
Okay.
You have to understand that like these things have legal like repercussions and ramifications. Like they can. So if I did that, or if that were to happen and she was not okay with it to the point that it made her extremely uncomfortable, she did not consent to it, and it made her feel like a certain way that she was not okay with, then like that, the repercussion, like that could negatively affect me. Like that could be considered.
Bro, this is too much. Come on, man.
I go like. Do you have a Reddit account?
Literally, like. Can I just explain something? I literally have to take.
Let him explain. Let him explain. Let me hear this. I want to hear this. Let him explain.
At the university I go to, I play on one of the varsity teams, whatever. But we have to take like sexual assault and prevention courses every single year. Like we're forced to do it. And these kinds of things are drilled into our heads for like obvious reasons, optics with the school, whatever. It doesn't matter. And like that is something that they talk about. Like I get like trying to shoot your shot or something like that. Like that's understandable, but you run the risk of violating that person in some way or another.
If you do it with a random person that you've never talked to before, this is a pattern of. That's the difference, though. You're talking about like a random fling with some random persons. Like, yeah, it's probably a very good idea to if you're hooking up with somebody for the first time to make sure that there's a verbal. It's like, yes, we can fuck or something like this. If it's a relationship that's long term, no, I'm sorry. It like normal.
I do think there is a difference between
on the person to like bring it up and makes them.
Can I bring some facts to the situation that some people are missing? May I bring some facts to the situation?
Yeah.
At no time in Yvonne's statement she wasn't allowed in. In fact, she starts her first paragraph off saying that he was allowed in at any time. The only thing she says slightly negatively and about him coming in was that he came in drunk. At no time in the statement, no one place did he say that he was not invited in. Now, considering all these kids are sleeping in each other's beds all the time, And I'm extremely suspicious that they've all had sexual relationships at one time. He made a shot, it failed, and she didn't have to even say anything for him to stop. So we could get into the definition of sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is a type of harassment involving the use of explicit or implicit sexual overtones, including unwelcome or inappropriate promise of rewards for sexual favors. If you go by that definition, every single unwelcome advance is sexual harassment. Now, when I was a kid 20 years ago and 10 years ago in the Army, it was repeat behavior. If he had come in her room uninvited repeatedly, I think that would make a sensible definition of sexual harassment, and he may have well been. It's definitely weird what he did, but considering he stopped, considering he was at no time, did Yvonne make a statement that he was unwelcome, I think we have to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I think we have to look. Not these theoretical arguments. Well, what would you do? And you're going to ask somebody to kiss. This is a completely ridiculous smear that was held as a ticket to keep somebody from getting fired.
Okay,
That's what it looks like on the surface.
So some of what you said I agree with. So I agree that, you know, the definition of sexual assault is extremely subjective. The law itself is
harassment.
Or whatever.
And there is no law against sexual harassment, though that would be in the workplace.
You can argue that it's a workplace, that it is a... Anyways, it doesn't matter. It's subjective. So, like, I'm not going to sit here and say this is or isn't sexual assault, sexual harassment, because it's borderline for either one. You know what I mean? Like, like, what do you mean?
See, when you're making something that's such a smear, so subjective, and which is dangerous to absolutely everybody, and you also give the victim of the sexual harassment a card to pull at any single time. I mean, the modern definition of sexual harassment is ridiculous. The definition of sexual assault, like you said, should be held up by the courts. We don't have anything close over here. We don't have anything close, unless there are other girls to come out in the future that saying he just barged in drunk. But since everybody was sleeping in everybody's bed, it's completely reasonable that somebody shot the shot. And I tell you something, I wouldn't, me knowing myself, and I hate doing this, and I just criticize you guys for doing this. If I were to go in, even drunk, to some girl's room that I'd been sleeping in, I probably slept with her before.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're just making assumptions at this point. So
yeah, I'm making assumptions. So are you?
Well, no. He just said that Yvonne said that it was a common thing that he had an open
very quickly.
All right, one at a time.
You're glossing over that because Tommy just said from her own fucking statement.
Yeah, well, I was going to get to that.
There was no.
Hey, asshole! You just said Augie doesn't know anything but consented. That's some pretty fucking big words, and you're like 100 guys that come to all
video, and he doesn't.
All of our fucking Shiva, you're like 100 guys coming to all of our streams. You did exactly what these bitches did. You made a big, sweeping accusation, and you come in here all night and okay, I understand what you're saying. I agree with you with some guys, but let me tell you something. That's a pretty lousy fucking thing to say, and then to come in here and not back it up and say and try to come in on both ends is just as crappy of what Pokimane and this broad did.
Give me some time to back it up. Every claim I've made, you had the entire You spoke. I let you speak. You said a lot of things. Let me try to talk about them for a second, okay?
All right.
Maybe entering her room. I don't know. Maybe entering the room wasn't the problem. I think getting into bed with her.
I was talking about you, pal. You're switching the topic.
No, you brought this up before. You brought this up before. No, you didn't. This is very clear. You brought this up before.
You said that.
What are you talking about?
You said what Augie did. He doesn't know what consent is.
The points that you just made before.
Now you come in here and try to act like you're all diplomatic. You got your statement up, bitch.
What are you talking about, dude?
Exactly.
You made claims before.
You're gonna pretend that you didn't accuse Augie of not knowing what consent is. I understand. You look ridiculous now.
Exactly what the definition was. I mean, I don't like hate him for that. I don't think it's a problem. Like, I think it's for education.
Well, Augie can now sleep very well at night knowing that you don't hate him for that. Thank goodness. Augie, that weight off your shoulders.
Tommy C.
Dude, I was so worried when Jay Rutto said I didn't know what consent was. Oh, man.
You're just made a fool of yourself.
What are you talking about? Look,
you said you're a fool of yourself. You understand English, cocksucker?
Like 2 to 3 minutes. You made a bunch of claims. Let me talk about them for a second.
Yeah, go ahead. Go
Yes,
ahead.
please dig that grave even deeper.
Okay, so you talk about how. Well, first of all, I kind of think that you're implying that what Fed did was okay. I don't know. Like, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what I got from what you're saying.
We've been goofing on
that...
Fed all week, buddy. We just don't think he's a sexual harasser.
See, but I never said he was. Like, I said that what he did was definitely like, it was creepy. It made her extremely uncomfortable, and it was like undoubtedly inappropriate.
Wait, so
like,
why are we talking about consent?
You know, you're making a lot of assumptions here. How do you know he wasn't fucking her? Or had fucked her in the past?
Well,
Look, yeah, that's a good point, though, all right? But you don't think what he did was harassment, but you're talking about consent as if he had, like, raped her or something. Like, what is the argument here?
No, I'm talking about that, like, okay, hold on. So, going into someone else's bed, when they haven't like allowed you to, like someone else's bed. This is a very private place. Now I know they all live together, but
they have allowed
someone's
him.
room and then someone's private bed. But like without that person allowing it or being okay with it. Now that it might have been okay that it happened before and she allowed it before, but I think when you go into someone's bed and like she's not responding to you, she's not doing anything, that is clear that there is no consent.
All right, I'm going to stop you right here. Hold on. This is from her original statement over the summer. I'm going to start this off by saying Fed was the first friend I felt like I met at offline TV. He was very welcoming, and I spent the time most with him out of everyone. We got along really well quickly and became really, really good friends. We would go on late night food runs, watch movies together in my room since I had a TV. He fell asleep frequently there, and it became a pretty normal thing.
Yeah. She seems like she's allowing him to do that there. She's giving him the permission to do that. But that's permission that is given to him. Okay?
You're getting it. You're getting closer.
To do it every single time. Okay,
he gave him the bed pass.
Every single night he gave her permission. Every single night he gave her permission. Is that even reasonable to think so?
It's just normal, dude. You don't have to
every single night. What are you talking about?
I have a friend. I know you're
figuring it out. It doesn't say every single night.
To understand because you look ridiculous. I have a friend that can come over anytime they want. They can knock on the door. It's no big deal. She just said in the first paragraph that they stayed in the same room together over and over again. Why wouldn't he think he wouldn't be allowed in there?
There's a difference between being allowed in someone's room and going into someone's bed. Those two different things.
Why wouldn't he think he would be allowed? Wouldn't be allowed.
It doesn't matter what he thinks. What he does. It's what is he permitted to? He can think and be wrong.
But by all signs, according to Yvonne, he's permitted to.
You're just trying.
No, he's not permitted to. Because she clearly doesn't with it.
First paragraph, he's permitted to.
Bro, Yvonne makes it very clear. Yvonne makes it very clear that she was not okay with him doing that. No, so that he shouldn't have done it.
No, you keep running. You're the one that keeps running her mouth about him coming in uninvited, even though she states clearly in the first paragraph that he was allowed in.
At other times, not that time.
So yes, other times. Every time. This is called the circular argument.
This is what I would equate it to. This is what I would equate it to. So if you have a friend and you invite your friend over very often to your house,
what actually happened and said you just
let me give you like a bit of an example here. Like, and this might have happened to people in the chat before. If you have a friend and you invite him all the time over to your house, like I don't know, 2-3 times a week, and for a while, and then eventually he starts coming to your house uninvited. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing here? I don't want to be around you. Like, I don't want you here.
No. Hold up. This allegory doesn't. This analogy doesn't make any sense. You've just verbally said, "Hey, buddy, what the fuck are you doing here?" That's not your argument.
So consent.
That's not your argument, though. That's not your argument, though.
What are you talking about?
You never know what he's talking about.
You just said if your buddy just shows up and you're like, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing over here?" That's not your argument.
I'm saying the act of coming
verbal. That is a verbal rebuke of them doing it.
Consent, like, so she doesn't have to say necessarily, like, when he's touching her inappropriately, which I think we can all assume.
She never. Does anyone? Hold on. Forward. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Hold on. Does anyone here think that what he did was okay?
No,
I
think everybody acted unprofessionally there.
You're complaining about him coming in her room when that was never the complaint at all. The complaint was him touching her.
Part of it, no, I think part of her thing was that she felt uncomfortable him being drunk, coming in her room and coming into her bed uninvited, and then doing the things that he did.
You keep denying the facts. That's not what she said.
What are you talking about?
She never said that.
Yeah. Yeah, caller. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on the air. Thank you for coming on. Good.
I think he just didn't read the document.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Fuck you for saying I don't know what consent is. Goodbye.
Look, no, you're not gonna let me finish.
You were big. I thought you pulled out the cord on the PC. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know you're still there. Go ahead.
I think it's a combination of everything. Being drunk, coming into her room uninvited, going into her bed, and then doing the things that he did.
He won't fucking listen to the facts. He wasn't in there uninvited. He refuses. He refuses, and then when you call him on it, he says, "I don't understand what you're talking about."
I'm confused what you're talking about. Tell me
about
the facts.
I read you the facts. I read you the facts.
Tell me what the facts are. Tell me what the facts are.
He was not uninvited. He was not uninvited. He was not uninvited.
You're telling me it's okay, but he wasn't invited.
He was not uninvited.
Okay, all right.
So what you're saying is consent is you have to physically tell the person no. Is that what you're saying it is? Is that what you're saying it is? So if someone comes in your bed and starts touching you inappropriately and making you feel uncomfortable, the onus is on you to say no? Because that's not what consent is.
If they have come into your bed before without invitation and you were okay with it, and this is a long-standing thing, yes, the onus is on you to bring it up. Yes, 100%.
It is not.
If it's a regular thing for him to come in the room, and the outlier is him not going in the room, you would explain to him that this is a different time. Please get out.
Let's do it. Let's play a game his way. Augie's allowed over my house whenever he wants. He comes in and out. He takes fucking G Fuel out of the fridge, whatever. One time, out of nowhere, I said, "What the fuck are you doing here?" That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, and if there's a time where Tommy doesn't want Augie over, Tommy would be like, "Hey, Augie, you can't come over today. There's some business stuff going on, etc."
Yeah, but what if Augie was right in your house?
And then if he came to the house, then it would be.
What if Augie barged in your house? And then what if Augie came in your house and started making you feeling extremely uncomfortable?
Well, if Augie could come in at any time to his house, why would
Tommy would have given him the consent to do that?
Okay. So what we're describing
here is
he's
breaking down the door.
It's deliberate. It's
understanding.
He's deliberately denying the fact.
Thank you, caller.
I think that's what's going on. Okay, thank you. Fuck yes. Oh, that guy
was not uninvited. He was not.
He did a line of coke right before this, didn't he?
I just want to say for the record,
when Edwin's not agreeing with you, because Edwin's very like.
That's literally what I was about to say. Edwin disagrees with us on this, I think, and even he thought that guy was a jackass.
Dude,
so
it just didn't. Okay, there's a difference because if someone's comfortable coming in your house every day, and all of a sudden they like finish your entire gallon of milk, that's like, whoa, that's overstepping your boundaries, right? But that doesn't mean all of a sudden they're not welcome in your house that day. This guy's fucking. I don't know.
I hope he gives consent to his mom when he opens her fridge to get out some food.
I'm the ghost of Seer Edwin.
I really hope he's good at whatever athletic abilities that he's in school for, because he's not really good at arguing.
He lifts
gymnastics. Yeah. I took a college course on sexual assault.
He did make a good point.
Did we just argue with like a Twitter girl?
Yeah, he did make a good point.
College guy?
They drill it into these kids' heads, and he said that, he mentioned that, and I guarantee the way they drill it is completely and totally confusing, and it contradicts each other depending on the sexual harassment meeting you're in on. I'm guaranteed that's the case. Guarantee it. So yeah, he's completely fucking confused. He's so. I mean, look, we gave him the facts, and every time we pointed it out, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He wasn't invited. He was invited in, and when he saw that she wasn't feeling it, she was out. And I got to be another thing. No, three of these people aren't very credible. Not Yvonne, in my opinion. Not Pokey. Not Fed. And somebody wrote in the chat. None of this shit adds up. I get the feeling we're missing a lot of context.
Yeah.
Why would this guy feel so comfortable? Forget the fact that he walked in for a second. Why would he feel so comfortable doing that, even with the relationship they had? You sleep on your side of the bed. Wise. Could it be? I don't know, because they had done something else before. Now, who knows? Maybe the guy's a complete creep. It is a little creepy to do that, but if you've done it before. I mean, I remember for a short period of time, I got back with my ex-wife, right? And I thought everything was cool. And I put my arms around her waist, and I got the look. And that was the end of that shit.
Yeah.
We went back to court. I mean, by his logic, I sexually assaulted my ex, or not sexually assaulted, sexually harassed my ex-wife. I mean, it'd be the same thing. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean,
You didn't have an invitation.
I don't know. I went down on her 3 weeks earlier. I mean, what the fuck?
Invitation argument. Was
Oh,
so
that, yeah,
ridiculous.
I would say that's an open invitation to
Yeah.
put your arm around her waist. Yeah, definitely.
And we don't know any of the like context and details of Yvonne and Fed's relationship
And they're
prior
not
to
credible.
that incident.
None of them are credible.
Yeah,
This is what I
that
called
as
on my
well.
show. This is a three-way Mexican standoff of gay ops.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really what it was. And they all shot each other in the face.
I'd say more than three-way, but yeah, it seems
Yeah.
like everyone has something.
everyone
to
in the
say.
house watched all
everyone-
these
at least the
people
in
tear each
this
other
gay
apart.
ops circle are at least like somewhat pleasant to look at. Holy shit.